IELTS General Test Writing Part 1 Time and Marks. The total time for attempting the two parts of writing test is 60 minutes. 20 minutes are reserved for task 1. Spend 2 to 3 minutes planning, the rest for writing, and leave 2 to 3 minutes for rechecking the grammar and spelling mistakes. You need to write 150 words for your letter. Don't spend more than 20 minutes on letter writing. Your letter is worth 33% of your final score. Task 1. Task 1 contains of 3 different types of letters: formal letter, semi-formal letter, and personal letter. Tips and tricks. You need not to write the address. Read the question carefully to decide the tone of the letter. The points mentioned in the question should be used clearly to avoid losing marks. Divide your letter into paragraphs. Include all 3 bulleted points. Keep the letter simple. Formal letter. Formal letter can be of the following topics: requesting information from a company, applying for a job, complaining to a bank, store, airline, for example, product or service, and making a recommendation or a suggestion. Characteristic of formal letter. Formal letter is addressed to someone whom you have not met or someone with whom you have a professional relationship, for example, your boss, teacher, principal, etc. Opening. Dear Sir, Dear Madam. Closing. Yours faithfully. Formal letter sample 1. Write a letter to a company to ask about having them develop a website for your business. In your letter, give a brief description of the business, explain what you'd like to be there on the website, provide some ideas on the use of images on the website. Sample letter Band 9. Now here is a sample letter for Band 9. You can feel free to pause the video and take an overview. Formal letter sample 2. You recently noticed a local restaurant that was offering a part-time job. Write a letter to the restaurant's manager. In your letter, explain that you would like to apply for the job. Give some details of any relevant experience that you have. Specify the days and times that would suit you. Here is a formal letter sample answer Band 9. You can feel free to pause the video and take an overview. Tips for letter. When opening the formal letter, start with a formal sentence and paragraph. Get down to the business straight and don't try to be friendly as you don't know who you are writing the letter to. You can start with, I am writing to inquire about, or I am writing in connection with. Either leave a line between the paragraphs or simply don't. Semi-formal letter. Complaining to a landlord, explaining to a neighbor, asking a professor for permission. Characteristic of semi-formal letter. Characteristic. To someone whom you may and may not have met. However, your relationship with them is not that formal, for example, your neighbor, etc. Opening. Mr. Bob, Mrs. Bob, or Miss Bob. Ending. Yours sincerely. Semi-formal letter sample 1. You live in a block of flats. Your neighbor makes a lot of noise which has caused problems for you. Write a letter to your landlord. In your letter, you should explain the situation, tell him or her how you are affected by this, suggest what you want the landlord to do. Now here is a semi-formal letter for Band 8. You can feel free to pause the video and take an overview. Now here is a semi-formal letter for Band 6. You can again feel free to pause the video and take an overview. Personal letter. Inviting someone you know well, thanking a friend, apologizing, or asking for advice. Characteristic of personal letter. Characteristic. To whom you know well and call them by their first name. Opening. Hi Sarah or Dear Sarah. Ending. See you soon or best regards. Personal letter sample 1. You recently spent a weekend with your friend in his or her new house. Write a letter to your friend. In your letter, you should explain what you like about his new house, tell him or her what you enjoyed most during your staying, suggest when and where you could meet next time with him or her. Now, here is a personal letter sample for Band 6. Feel free to pause the video and take an overview. Personal letter sample 2. An English speaking friend wants to spend a 2-week holiday in your region and has written asking for information and advice. Write a letter to your friend. In your letter, offer to find somewhere for your friend to stay, give advice about what to do and see in your area, and give information about what clothes to bring. Personal letter sample 2 Band 9. Feel free to pause the video and take an overview. Marking. Task achievement. Do everything that you are told to do so. Give a full and detailed answer. Cover all points. Use 150 words. Coherence and cohesion. Coherence. Presents ideas logically. Use structured paragraph. Cohesion. Write so points stick together, make sense, and convey your message. Use standard expression and transitional devices. Vocabulary. Use a wide range of vocabulary naturally, correctly, and fluently. Use correct spellings. Choose the right words. Use the correct forms of words such as verbs, nouns, etc. Grammar range and accuracy. Use a wide range of grammar structures, include different kinds of sentences, simple, compound, complex. Use effective punctuation. Use correct capitalization. Markings. In Task 1, your letter is marked according to the following scheme. Task response 25%, coherence and cohesion 25%, vocabulary 25%, grammar 25%.